Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Coco. Um, I'm just doing another general reading for the collective, and I meditated a little bit. I didn't get a lot of time to meditate, but I meditated a little bit just to see what the messages are from spirit. And immediately I had to write them down. So you guys know I just like to get straight to the point. So immediately I've been having like weird dreams. So that was like the number one thing was spirit said dreams are indications of warnings. Maybe a lot of people right now haven't been using their intuition. I did see the Knight of Pentacles card. Also, I got the message, get help from people outside your circle and stop thinking things will disappear just because you ignore them. And a lot of this applies to myself, but I know it could be applied in your lives in the same type of way. So I'm just cleansing my cards really quick just to kind of see, if there's any other energies. I do carry my cards around with me a lot. And so, yeah, let's get started. Let me shuffle a little bit. So lately, and I am going to go through my cards and make sure that they're all face up. If you guys don't know, I don't read any of my cards in reverse. If the message is going to come out, I don't need to read it in reverse. Also, if you guys want a private reading, follow me on my Instagram and direct message me on Not Your Average Coco. I always have it linked in my bio. I hope everyone's doing okay. I know it's been a weird time. We just had a new moon and we're entering Leo season. So a lot of people could be feeling like they want to make a dramatic start in their life, but don't know how. Or maybe, you're getting caught in cycles and just now starting to figure out like, okay, I've experienced this before. Like, how can I maneuver and do it differently so I have a different outcome? And so let me just get all my cards upright. Sorry, I should have did this off camera. But yeah, I definitely think around the spring equinox, around like my birthday, around like April 6th or something like that, there was a eclipse and a full moon. And I think that's where everyone's life kind of took a shift in a different direction from normally where you would be. And what I think that eclipse did was enhance what you were already doing. So if you weren't doing anything, you will be moving backwards, because I don't want to get into it. But if you weren't doing anything at the time around the eclipse, your life could possibly seem like there's no movement and it's stagnant. And if you were working on yourself and you did have goals and you did have a lot of ambitions that you wanted to just like take heed on, I do see that there's been a lot of movement happening, but also not all movement's good movement. Like you could pass some things up. It's like playing a video game and you just go through the level so fast that you forget that there's little tips and secrets and tricks. That was like the Ace of Cups that came out. So yeah, I do feel that energy has been really strong for myself of like creating movement forward. But let's just get into the reading. Oh, very interesting. This card won't go in. What is it? Oh, shoot. And it's the World card, the Wheel of Fortune, I mean. Okay, so I'm done shuffling. Let's get into our prayer. I think I shuffled the wrong way. I did. Let me do it one more time. Okay. Heavenly Father, ancestors, protective angels, and spirit guides, thank you so much for waking me up today and giving me the knowledge and insight that I get on an everyday basis. We appreciate you for all the extra tips and tricks that you give us. And we appreciate you for always giving the intuition when we need it, even though we don't follow it. We're ever so grateful for your presence and everything that you do for us on a daily basis. If you're not called into this reading, you are not welcome. And amen. Thank you. I do want to shuffle a little bit more. I don't know why. I just do. But these are the messages that I got today. So I want to start on your dreams. I've been having really crazy dreams, and usually I don't have dreams that feel so like, I know that I'm dreaming when I'm dreaming, but lately it just kind of seems there's been an interruption on the dreams that I usually have. And yeah, let's talk about your dreams really quick. Can I have a message for the collective about their dreams? Can I have a message for the collective? Okay, so Page of Pentacles. And I do want to say I also saw this card when I was meditating, but I didn't know it was going to come out. I want to say, starting with your dreams. Dreams are something that it means a lot to everybody. There's something that it's something that I feel like people can't really have like a full understanding of, because people dream different, they live different lives. Even though we're all connected as one, doesn't mean that we don't experience things on a different level. And so with the Page of Pentacles coming out, oh my God, did I write that down? No, I wrote down the Knight of Pentacles, but I think I meant to write down the Page of Pentacles. And if you guys see this card, Pentacles have to do with things that are tangible, money, morals, goals, things that you hold as a pentacle, things that like matter to you. And everyone's different, but it is things that we can, you know, see usually. I was also getting that there is a message that's going to come out from someone I'm like, I don't think it's regarding your dreams, but maybe you should pay attention to people of who you tell your dreams to. One, because it might be somebody that is already sending you negative energy and trying to pretty much like, not, I'm just going to be honest, people who don't want to see you succeed. So telling them your dreams is only going to give them better insight on what you're already fearing or already thinking of, or already, you know, like what our ancestors are pretty much trying to put into our lives so we can pay attention to. And then also, if you tell the right person, it can be something where they can give you insight based off of what they see differently and what their perspective is. So it will give you more insight on what you need to figure out, or it could definitely set you back and give, you know, your enemy ammo into, you know, you're just subconscious. Okay, so the Empress card did flip over, but I won't use that. I'm like, damn, these cards are just flipping over. So I'm just going to do a regular reading because these cards are flipping out and they're not waiting for me to ask the questions. So next I have the Knight of Cups. Any more messages for the collective? And any type of page or knight is a very immature energy. Like they're not a king or emperor yet. And then we also have the Four of Pentacles. So I'm definitely getting, there's been a situation or a shift of your mindset of where you felt like things are already not working out for you. So I have to be hopeful. I have to be optimistic. And then when it comes to your love life, you're waiting for someone, or someone's watching you so they can come in at the perfect moment to relay a message to you. And it does look like it's going to be a heartfelt message, because cups have to do everything with like love, emotions, just like hopefulness, you know, romance. And I don't know if you guys can see here, but there's like little waves like on this horse's, I don't know what it's called. But it does look like this person has been thinking about a message that they want to send to you and trying to construct a message, and then also trying to figure out the right time to bring you this cup. And I'm definitely seeing this as your energy, as holding on to, oh, it could be the other person too. Take it how it comes. But with the Four of Pentacles, holding on to memories, holding on to old morals, holding on to old timelines and mindsets that don't work for them. And so they're hoping that this message will kind of like change it'll like they're hoping, I'm like, how do I put this? I'm just going to be blunt with you guys. This person is hoping that when they send you this message or show up in a certain type of way in your life, because they're waiting, they don't know what you're doing right now, so they're waiting. And when they bring this message in, they hope that it changes. Like, they hope that like you can be like also one of these pentacles. And the reason why I say that is because it's someone that you possibly were dating before, or someone that you had a love connection with, and their life hasn't been the same since you left. And this could be romantic, or it could be a friend relationship, or a mom, or, you know, I'm getting like not romantic, but someone who loves you. You guys love each other a lot. And I see that when they bring you this message, you're not really open to it because you think that this person has not they have not grown. Like, their way of thinking is very selfish or one-sided. Maybe some of the things that they say are very like out there, so they might say things that like are very dramatic, even though that's just who their personality is. They just come off very dramatic. So they might not be someone that's good of explaining their emotions, but they do want to come in and give you a message, a heartfelt message. It could be something like, I'm sorry, I apologize, you know. And so you really have to think to yourself and I need you guys to understand this, because it's not all the time that you have to forgive people, but there are times where if you don't forgive them, you're not growing either, because now you're in the same energy as what you thought they were, because you thought that they were stubborn, and you thought that, you know, they weren't shakable when it came to the things that they want in life. Like, they did what they wanted, they were selfish. But when it comes down to it, if you say that you are growing, when this person does come into your life and you push them away, you're also not ready for growth either. So you might need to take some time to figure out what's bothering you about this situation or this person, or why haven't you healed from this, or why do you want to move on from this situation without handling it first. Any more messages? Damn, I'm all bending my cards. Okay, so we have the Four of Cups. I also have the Ace of Cups and the Page of Swords. So already, with the Ace of Cups being, this isn't usually how I do my spreads, but Ace of Cups being in the middle of the deck already, there is something that Spirit wants you to see, and it's not going to be something, I know that a lot of you guys want to see improvement, like in your work life and like your at-home life. Like, not everyone's life right now seems to be pairing up with what they've been planning for, and that's okay. But the reason why it hasn't is because God's been trying to give you a certain type of gift. You see how these are cups? So God's trying to give you like overall fulfillment, but you need to change your mindset, because sometimes how we get there is different from what we thought, how God wants to get us there. And so what that means is, with the Page of Swords being at the end, having an immature energy and just thinking like, oh, I don't need your help, or I don't need this from you, and I got it myself, and I already asked the people. So it's very naive for you to, one, have your hand open for gifts and opportunities, and on the other hand, saying that you know all the information. And information can be brought to you from people, again, who are friends, co-workers, your dreams. And that was the next subject that I had, was getting help from your outside circle. So I've been talking to my friends a lot about like what they want in life, what they want to do. And one thing that they're not willing to do is go outside of their circle to ask people who they don't know for help. And it's important to do so, because these people have a different life from you. If you're already hanging out with the same group of friends and the same type of people, most likely you guys think the same. So the problem solving is going to be about the same. So you're not going to get any new information. And then also, you guys' fears could line up in the same type of way. So they're going to project their fears onto you and say, hey, you know, maybe that's something that you shouldn't do because of X, Y, and Z. And the reason why that can be detrimental to your growth is because you want the Ace of Pentacles. You have a different route, and you have a different path than they do. So it's good to have friends, and it's good to have people who are like-minded like you, but they also could be hindering your growth, because God's trying to look at this hand. trying to give you everything, and then look at this. It's like it's the same cup, it's just a different person receiving it. So you can't be upset, or you can't feel jaded, and you can't expect growth if you think that your best friend's going to give you the best advice and a stranger at the grocery store is going to give you just less substantial advice. Like, you guys have to really weigh out people's perspectives in life based off of your narrative of what you're playing in your life, I guess, whatever. Okay, so I also have the Queen of Swords and the King of Pentacles. Any more messages? Any more messages? Any more messages for the collective? Okay, and I also have the Death card. So, a lot of, and I could be wrong, but I do feel some of you out there are encountering someone that is a little bit more career driven and focused, and so it could put you in the energy of the Queen of Swords, as to you recognize that they could possibly be your counterpart, but there's a situation in someone, and I'm just being honest, and this is not for everyone, this could be someone specific, but there's a love situation, or there's like a connection of maybe somebody that you've had in the past that really bothers you up until this day, and maybe they like crossed you or did something that was just like, you know, out of their character, and it really made you feel some type of way, and it gave you trust issues. So when you meet this King of Pentacles, it's like you're open to the things that they have to say and what their lifestyle is. Like you're interested and intrigued to get to know this person, because I don't want to say if it's a male or female, but you're intrigued to get to know this person, but you still have guards that are up, even though like they're over here chilling, doing their own thing. They have their own empire, and you have your own empire, but it's almost like you're judging them based off of like, it's just, you just don't trust them. It's just trust issues. Like you're like, oh my God, well, why do you do this? Why do you do that? Well, how can we do this? You know, and we're creating narratives in our head of like, we don't even know this person yet, and you're expecting them to do all these things, and that's what we call expectations. And that's usually why people have issues in friendships, relationships, any type of connection, because when you're around someone for a long time, you do start to expect things out of them, because they usually do it, or it's things that make you feel good, or maybe it's a reciprocation of energy that's being passed to and from, you know, from each other. But there is the reality is they're their own person. So if they do decide to change, or they do decide to, you know, take a different direction, or they want to have a different routine, or, you know, something that's just like a little bit out of the norm of what you guys are usually, you know, experiencing of getting to know each other, there's something that the mindset of that needs to die. So the trust issues need to go out the window, and that's why we have the Death card here. It means that something needs to die for something else to be rebirthed. And so I'm going to get some information. Tell me about the Death card. Okay, so immediately, and this is the card that I was expecting to come out earlier, the Eight of Pentacles. And the only thing that's coming to mind right now is how you're working on things needs to be approached differently. Why? Why does what they're working not working? Because there is going to be some judgment, the Wheel of Fortune, and what is the other card? And the Ace of Swords. Dang, psych. I'm just joking. So I do see that because there is this shift of, I wonder if there's going to be like some planets in alignment, because usually when the Wheel of Fortune comes out, it means that like it's destined. Same with like the World card. These things are like destined to happen, meaning it's fate, is out of our hands. It was going to happen no matter which step you took, right, left, forward, backwards. It was going to happen regardless. Even if you stood still, it was going to happen. And so there's something that needs to be cut out of your life. And I'm thinking mindset immediately. The only reason why I say that is because there's trust issues between you and this King of Pentacles. Again, this is somebody in your life that is really career focused and driven. So like they talk, it's not that they talk about business all the time, but like when you guys are together, you guys are both important pieces and getting the end goal accomplished. But because there's trust issues, you can't really trust, like, you know, their direction that they're going. Maybe this person isn't great with their emotions because they're always focused on work. But there's something that has to change when it comes to how you're working on yourself. And maybe it could be like the lack of time and energy that you're giving to yourself when it comes to like self-love and showing others that you care for them, or just being there for others in a way that's just unconditional. But that does look like there's going to be a shift, and very interesting because I don't know. Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune. What's the shift that's happening with the Wheel of Fortune? What's the shift that's happening with the Wheel of Fortune? What's the shift? Okay. So what's happening, what needs to change is the type of people that you're around. There's a shift of, someone told me before that there's rooms that your name has been brought up in that you haven't even been in yet. And so if you are someone that has been working like on your career, on your craft, and you really are passionate about it, and I can see that you're passionate with like the Eight of Cups here, there needs to be a way of you recharging yourself or reanalyzing like what you're going through. And the reason why I say that is because the rooms that you're going to be brought in, these people don't have the same mindset as you. And so if you're a spiritual person and you work in the medical field, that's a lot of like energies that are there. You're having to take care of people, like, you know, and if you, especially if like you're an empath and someone who really just cares for others like just deeply, you have to find ways to protect yourself. You have to find ways to stop having conversations with people when your energy is completely gone. And so that's something that needs to be cut out, because if you don't do that, you're going to miss all the gifts and all these extra things that God has been trying to give you, because you're not being, it's like sometimes you want to be the Queen of Swords and it's like, I'll give you an example. You listen to someone and they complain about their life and they talk about their life and they're like, oh my God, well, like, you know, this is happening, but you are already getting ready to like slice their fucking head off, because if they came to you with this situation again, you're like, I'm fucking fed up with it. But then because you're an empathetic person, you listen and you're just like, oh my, and then you get sucked back into the drama. So you need to stop being the Queen of Pentacles and be the Queen of Pentacles. Stop being the Queen of Swords and start being the King of Swords when it comes to your energy, because these people are not there to replenish your energy. They ask about your day, but if you're someone, again, that's working hard 24/7, they don't understand what you encounter on a daily basis on anything. So like if you tell them about your work and what you do and they can't relate with that, how are they supposed to give you good advice usually? Because they don't know what you endeavor on a daily basis. So yeah, I would definitely suggest cutting conversations out with people that you don't need to have conversations with if you are working on something. If you are focused and you are driven and you want something to manifest in your life, and that's with your health, that's with you being more spiritually inclined, that's also being more physically, you know, fit. If you have a goal, you have a plan for that goal, there are people that are coming in to distract you. And this next shift that's going to happen in life is literally you're going to be in different places, in different rooms, and you have to learn how to maneuver your energy with these type of people, because they do siphon your energy based off of how much emotion you show. So if you act like you care, they're gonna always come to you because, you know, they need to get that energy boost off of you. So an example of that would be if you go to a conference. Let's say you just go to a work conference, doesn't matter what job you're at, Starbucks, fucking, I don't know, anywhere in the medical industry, you work for a construction company and you guys just have a conference and you know that there's going to be higher ups there, and you know that there's going to be people from other companies. It's the same company, but like just different stores. And so everyone's all going to be there. And so you get there and you already know, okay, this is not usually like my scene. I don't want to go to this, but you know, like it's mandatory. And there's some people there that you mingle with and you talk to, and that's your circle who you talk to. And then everybody else is going to be a different energy. They've never met you before. And if you are somebody who is empathetic, who is spiritually inclined, they're going to recognize that when they have the conversation with you, because the conversation is not going to be traditional. And so what you need to do at that time is tell them, oh my gosh, it was wonderful meeting you. You know, like they're like, oh my God, well, what do you do? And all this stuff. You can be excited, but you need to recognize the place that they have in your life. Because if they're just knowing what you do for a living, first of all, you guys all work at the same place. So if they're asking more about your life, you need to differentiate if it's going to be, is this going to be somebody that's lifelong in my life, or can I use them as an asset? And I hate that it has to be that way nowadays, but you're generally not gonna meet someone off the street that's gonna be like your kinfolk, like right off the bat. Most of these people have a message to give you, and you need to receive the message and keep it pushing. Stop thinking that we're gonna have lifelong friends based off of a conversation of you guys kikiing and like, you know, saying that we went, what is it, jet skis or water jet skis, whatever the fuck they are. Like those type of conversations, they drain you, because you're using, you know, it's like you're having a good time, but you're not getting anything from it. So now you're just using your energy like unwillingly. So my advice to you is, if there's people that are around you who do give you good information and they do help you out, and you see that there's actually a difference, like you can physically see a difference in your life, I would pay attention to more of those people, and also maybe the people that they hang around. And if you have, and I'm going in categories, so, and then also if you hang out with friends who are just your best friend, you guys relate on that type of level, but you don't see them moving forward in life, I would have less contact with them until they're ready to prove to you that they're ready to go to the next level, or they're ready to push through their fears. Because again, you just having the simple conversations is wasting your energy when you can use it on things that are gonna literally catapult you to the next level of what you've been trying to work for. And so I'm gonna say that with the Ace of Swords card, God's already been telling you that you need to cut these people out, but because you're not listening, it's almost like your gifts are being like blocked. Because I have the Star card here. Ooh, I have the Star card here that came out. And the Star card is about giving to yourself, but also giving to others. But I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if it's a pond that she's in. I don't know if it's a lake. I don't know if it comes from the ocean. But the fact that we don't know where the source is coming from right now, because there is no source of where you're getting your energy, most likely you're giving out of your own cup. And you're not supposed to give out of your cup unless it's overflown. Overflew. Your cup has to be overflowed. And so, yeah, because you guys are doing that, though, what's the consequences? What are the consequences of the collective being sparse with their energy? Sorry, all these are falling on the floor. Okay, and I don't turn these cards over, so come on. What are the repercussions of spreading your energy thin? What's the consequences? What are the consequences of this next? Oh, no. Okay. It's not oh, no. Sorry, guys. I don't mean oh, no. I mean it for myself, because I'm also doing this as well. So I have the Strength and the 8. So you're going to be forced literally to move away from these people. With the 8 of Swords and the Strength card, 8 of Wands, it's all about movement and movement forward. That's the only thing that it is. It's literally moving forward, progressing, being pushed. Like you need to be forced into that direction, and having strength. So having strength to move forward. But what that could look like is your friends stopped talking to you. You immediately got cut from this job. Your family just fucking, everyone's arguing with you. You're going to get put in maybe into conflict, so you can see that where you've been spending your energy is not worth it. I'm like, I should end the reading right there, but no. And the last thing I meditated about was stop thinking that things will disappear because you ignore them. And that goes great with this, because I feel a lot of people right now are waking up to what's happening in the world, waking up to their full potential of where they could be, waking up to being in toxic relationships and work relationships. And, people are waking up saying, hey, I'm a fucking bad person. So people are really waking up in the sense of they're recognizing where they need to be, who they need to be with. And I really feel if you keep ignoring the signs, you're either going to have to repeat the lesson, and that means that you could break up, because this is what it also looks like, because a lot of people don't describe what repeating the cycle or repeating the lesson looks like. So that means that, okay, you're like, finally, I realize that this isn't good for me. I want to leave it alone. I want to leave this person alone. This job isn't great for me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I know I'm supposed to stop eating unhealthy food. And then right when you try to break that cycle, and like, today's the day that I'm going to do it, there's going to be a lot of persuasion from other people, meaning that all the problems that you probably had of God leading you up to the reason why this isn't working, when you say, hey, I'm finally done with this and I just want to be over it and I just want to stop talking to them or going into work or whatever it is, you're going to be tested, and you're going to be like, oh, the person could come up to you and say, oh, you know what? I decided I think that you should have a raise because, I've been thinking about it and you did really good, like at our job and da-da-da. You weren't at the job because you needed a raise. You're at the job because, one, you needed a job and it pays your bills. But two, most likely because you kind of like the job. So it's a little bit of your passion and also pays a little bit, but you know that you're going to have to deal with more bullshit if you get the raise in the job. So now it's almost like they have something over you of why you should be working harder, or why you should be giving them more information, or why you should be giving more of your soul to them with nothing in return. Because if you think that money is going to make your problems better, money wasn't the issue of why you were struggling anyways. It was the poor decisions. It was the poor health decisions. It was listening to people outside of yourself and not listening to yourself. And so another situation would be, oh, I want to get out of this relationship. Like, he's just horrible. She's a bitch. I don't fuck with her. Like, she done some fucked up shit. She cheated on me. Like, today's the day that I'm leaving. And then this is the day that your significant other, whoever you're with, is like, oh, I want to be with you, and I'm sorry for everything that I did and everything. I just feel, they're giving you apologies that you've never heard of that are obviously due. And it's going to put you in a mindset where you're like, oh my God, I've been praying for this. This is something that I wanted to happen, but it's a trick because you literally just told God that you wanted better for yourself. So why would you go better for yourself knowing that these people have not been through the transformation of understanding what needs to be changed in their life to make things better? So again, if you really want something, you're going to be tested, and it's going to look like the person's changed or the situation has changed, and it has not changed. You're being tested to see if you really want it, because if you really wanted it, you would just fucking leave and know that God will have something waiting for you right when you leave that situation. And another situation, and I hate to describe it because it comes in so many ways, is you get out of a relationship and you really say, hey, I'm really done with this person. I'm really done doing this. And you get out of the relationship, and then the person says, okay, fine, I don't want to be in this relationship either. You guys end things, and then you heal. You maybe you heal, maybe you don't heal, but there's a little bit of time that goes by, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks. You meet somebody new, and if you haven't learned the lessons and you haven't spent the time by yourself to figure out what you actually needed in the first place, then you're going to get into this new relationship, and the person's going to treat you the exact same. It's just going to look different because it's coming from someone else. So an example of that would be if in your last relationship they were a cheater and you couldn't trust them because they're just being very promiscuous, and that's your fear in your last relationship. So the lesson that needed to be learned is having some self-confidence, sticking up for yourself, knowing what's right for you and what makes you feel whole and good. And going into this next relationship, you already have something held over your head. And if you haven't healed from the traumas from your past relationship, this person could come in with a whole new energy, and they could just make you feel self-conscious just because of how confident they are. And so you really need to sit down with yourself, figure out what makes you feel whole, and know that giving to yourself will always lead you to the things that you need in life. So I hope this message finds you guys well. Let me give some advice. And again, you guys know these are general readings. It's not going to be for everybody. So if this message is for you, please give me a thumbs up and share the video with your friends who this might correlate with. But I do want to give you some advice because I don't want to leave you hanging, because I explained a lot of things and theories today. Okay, so Ace of Pentacles, okay, the Eight of Pentacles, the Judgment. Damn. I won't say that. I'm sorry. Okay. Jeez Louise. The Ten of Swords, or the Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is like, I hope you guys get through these situations gracefully, because it seems like, and the last card is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so my advice to you is, whatever you're working hard on, keep working hard on it, but know there's going to be a time where you need to stand up for yourself, and that might make you feel like you're out in the cold with some people. But the reason why you're standing up for yourself is because we have the Ten of Swords here. You didn't put all these swords in your back. So you working hard and getting these messages and spending time with God by yourself is going to give you the insight. So when this judgment does come up and you are being tested, Judgment card, and you are being tested, you have to see if you're willing to take a chance on what you've been praying and asking for, so they can set you in the right direction, so this wheel can turn. You know what I'm saying? Like, a wheel only goes around and around and around and around. So you could, when this judgment comes out, you're going to be tested through like the phases, so you can get back up to the top of where you need to be. And I'm like, that's the advice that I have for you. Hopefully that is good. I didn't want to go through every card, because going through every card and explaining to you guys like what it means is just going to take away from like what the actual message is. But at the bottom of the deck, we do have, look, making a choice. You have to make a blind choice. And I promise you, and mark me when I say this, when you look in another 2, so you need to make a choice. Or is that the 3? Nope, it's a 2. Mark me when I say this, that when you choose yourself and you're choosing it for what you believe in at the time, it's only going to be right. That's always the right decision. It doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside. It doesn't matter if you're choosing between $50 million and a peace of mind. If you feel like you just need to take a fucking nap instead of like going to work, do that, because at the end of the day, it's about what you're creating for yourself in the long haul. So if you're going to put yourself more stress every day and then deal with it every day, you're going to look back 30 years later and be like, oh my God, like I spent my whole life stressing, instead of taking the small moments, knowing that that'll create a happier memory. What is it? A memory box, a memory chamber for you to go back to. So don't get so consumed in what everyone else is doing in the world when it comes to how much money they're making, what they're doing for work, what makes them happy, how they look on the outside, because everyone has their own trials and tribulations. And if you guys trust yourself, oh my God, give me please just one more. If you guys trust yourself, look, there will be a reciprocation of you. Look, this person is giving back to other people because their cup is full. So that's my message for today. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for stopping by.